Well, Jurgen, the best defence against the best attack in the Premier League on Sunday. What game are you expecting?
Actually, a good one. I know that very often doesn't happen when two top teams face each other, but I think our history with City shows that very often. It was pretty interesting watch because both teams really go for it and want to use, want to create opportunities, want to create chances, want to use momentum, want to use gaps, situations, all these kind of things. So that's why I expect a interesting football game, to be honest.
You look at some of the games, and is it one way people will put a lot of emphasis on this being a decider for the title? I mean, you can't think like that, I'm sure. I cannot decide obviously what people think, but we can just go through the possible results. We win, we are 2 points up. If everybody thinks that's done and dusted with the league, cannot help. If we lose, we are 4 points behind. If anyone thinks that's it, I cannot change it, but I know nobody from a City point of view would think it like that. And there's a draw, 1 point behind. So, and that's it. So, a very important game. I'm really looking forward to it. One of the biggest challenges you can face in football, but that's really nice. That's why I do this kind of things. Imagine we would be still 14, 15 points behind, would still be a great game, but lack of something like with meaningless and these kind of things. And so it's good. We qualified for a great game with the season we played so far, and I'm really happy that we can be part of it, and I can imagine a lot of people will watch it, and we give it a try. That's all I can say. See, I've read this morning that this Manchester City-Liverpool rivalry is the best seen in the Premier League. Would you go along with that?
Who said it?
Jimmy Carragher.
Then yes. Sorry, I watched a lot of football in my life, but I cannot now not say that I was always in the subject. The detail that I can say that's the biggest I know about big rivalries. It's cool. It's cool. The last 4 years or whatever, since we stepped up a little bit and could close the gap to cities slightly. It's interesting. Absolutely, we push each other to an incredible point tallies, madness. I would have never thought that these kind of things are possible, and especially not in this league. So the consistency both teams showed in that period is absolutely crazy. We had our top year where we won the league, where obviously City could not. There was a little gap, and then obviously there were years, especially last year when there was the gap again big because we had our problems. Apart from that, it was always close, which I like. As always said, the closer you get, the more likely it becomes that you can overtake. But we know it's tough. What changed in these 4 years that everybody else thinks it's tough as well when they face us, and that's really good.
In that respect, Jurgen, do you feel as if with the quality of the squads that the two sides have got and the quality of the football that the two sides play, you bring out the best in each other over the course of the whole season?
Probably. Look, if you play professional football on highest level, your focus is on your own games. That's how it is. But there's a moment in the season if you cannot avoid watching on a table and you see, oh, there's one catching up constantly. They have the same amount of wins, all these kind of things, and so that's normal. So, but in sports, I think what helps you the most is a strong opponent. That's in the long term, especially, it helps you the most. Not sure, but. I think especially Nadal and Federer enjoyed a lot the rivalry they had. So I'm not sure if they would still play if they would have won the tournaments either hand. So I cannot see that, but they enjoyed that, and that's how it is in sports. And I wouldn't say I'm thankful that City is that good, but it didn't deny our development. So that's it.
In terms of what you've just been through with the Champions League game, yours against Benfica and theirs against, obviously, Do you think that the 2 games that you've had there, and certainly for what you've had, prepares you particularly well or helps you get ready for the mentality of a game like this?
Oh, I'm not worried about the mentality of my boys. It's like we learned over the years to really be in the next game, definitely. But that doesn't mean you forget about the game after. It's just to now share. But after the game, immediately the boys was clear. So now it's City time, and from a football point of view, it didn't help too much. Both teams, we will not play in a 5-5. There might be moments when they force us to do that. I'm not sure, but now the game's obviously from a football point of view completely different. But yes, we will be prepared. It was Tuesday. We both played Tuesday, so we had enough time to prepare the game, to recover. That's good. Yeah. How I said, let's go.
Carl, really want to say?
Hi, Jurgen. We've seen your players put in some really good away performances this season. Atletico, Old Trafford, Derby, Benfica did a night as well. How important is it that your players go with the same positive mindset into this one? I know how good Man City are, but you've got to go into this game with the same mindset, have you, over the wins as well?
Yeah, it's important, but before none of these games we thought we will give them a proper one or whatever. It was never was like this, not in United, not Everton, wherever it was, Atletico. What you have before a game like this, you have to prepare, and then you have to show the respect they deserve with the way you defend. I mean, it's against City particularly important because they are obviously pretty good with the ball. And none of these games you can compare. There is no game in world football you can compare to play against City because they are good in pretty much all areas. There's no real weakness. It's not that you can say, okay, they're here really good, but they're... But because it's football and the pitch is pretty big, and they have only 10 outfield players and we have 10 as well. So there are things you can do, you can create, and you better use your chances, all these kind of things. That was very helpful. You deny them as much as you can, as often as you can. That's very helpful. You need to be proper in the challenges in a football way, really be close enough, because this kind of thing where the best players in the world have to give them a bit more space to do what they do. That makes no sense. So you have to be really close with the formation and then individually as well. It's a lot to think about. But in the end, it's a game, and the boys, I really hope I can help them until then, that they get all the necessary information, but not too much, and then they can be themselves and enjoy the game.
You just said there's a lot to think about. Pep Guardiola last week said he overthinks things quite a bit going into games. Is it easy to overthink going into games, or is it best?
It was ironic. Did I realize? I heard this week in Ecuador, people made a story of it, and I said I didn't understand Luis Diaz. You have really a responsibility on this planet. If you want to talk to us, then do me a favor and help us with, if you want to separate from us. When he said, ironically, I overthink things. I like overthinking things. Pep is the best coach in the world. I think we all would agree on that. And it might be a coincidence that it didn't work out so far in the Champions League or whatever, but the things he won, the football he plays, if anybody doubts him, then I have no idea how that could happen. No, we all think a lot. That's the reason why we make sometimes mistakes, and sometimes we find out the right things to do. But in football, you know that all just exactly after the game and not before. And that's why we try to imagine what could happen, what will help, what can we do, which makes us more independent of the opponent and all these kind of things. And but it's true in the end, there must be a stop with informations, because then the boys have to play. And they, if I could help them enough during the week or during the time we are already together, it would be a bit a shame. So means hopefully we are now long enough together and did often enough the right stuff that we are ready to play the best possible game against City. That would be the target.
Carl at the back.
Oh.
Hi. You suggested on Tuesday that Mo was being slightly influenced by all the stories around him and all the talk around him. I'm just wondering, when it comes to a game like Sunday, how much do you rely on the big game experience of players rather than maybe their current form?
I was not about, it was after the game, I know. Actually, I didn't know about stories around it. It was just the stories was what I thought being out of blah, 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 intensity, 120 minutes, 6 times. That was what I thought, what he was, not the stories were written. I didn't even know what was there written. Yeah, big game experience helps, definitely. It's not the only important thing you consider when you make a lineup, but it's one of these. Yeah, that's it.
Could you check on fitness news as well? Is everyone okay for the weekend?
When I had a look last time on my smartphone, it looks like everybody is available again. Yeah.
I've got one question in German from our colleagues at Sky Germany.
Hallo Jürgen, College mit Sommerfeld, Sky Deutschland. In Deutschland sehr großes Interesse an Liverpool. Wir sehen immer wieder, dass es mit Abstand die höchst eingeschalteten Spiele sind. Wie viel kriegen Sie mit? Merken Sie sowas wie einen Daumendrücken aus der Heimat oder so?
Just for you that he said the most viewed team in Germany, English team, is Liverpool. That's important information, sorry. No. Nee, kriegen wir nicht mit. Also kriege ich nicht mit. Ich weiß, dass du zusammen mit René Adler die Spiele kommentieren, weil ab und zu gucken wir die deutsche Version, aber nee, ansonsten kriege ich das nicht wirklich mit. Aber ich weiß natürlich, dass ich habe viele Freunde nach wie vor da und die sind alle sehr interessiert. Aber kann ich mir gut vorstellen, weil es ist ja auch ein cooler Club und ist die Geschichte, die wir schreiben zusammen, ist ja auch durchaus nett. Und deswegen ist es schön, dass es so ist, aber mit Kriegen, dass ich irgendwie das verfolgen würde, nein, das tue ich nicht.
Wenn ich noch eine inhaltliche nachschieben darf, Sie haben, als Sie Diogo Jota dazu bekommen haben, war schon die große Frage, wie einmal haben Sie es versucht mit allen Vieren zusätzlich, da hatten dann, glaube ich, Salah und Mané sehr viel Defensivaufgaben. Jetzt haben Sie ja noch einen 5. Offensiven. Sie werden ja cool, kaum mit allen 5 spielen können. Können Sie ein bisschen erklären, wie Sie da rangehen? Wie wählen Sie die 3 aus den 5 aus oder werden es vielleicht doch wieder 4 der Offensiven?
Alles möglich. Also alles 5 ist eher weniger möglich. Aber nee, wer passt am besten für das Spiel? Darum geht es jetzt eigentlich. Wer ist in welcher Verfassung? Wer passt am besten? Von wem erwarte ich was? Das ist eigentlich der Grund für eine Aufstellung. Mit den 4, das hat sehr gut funktioniert in der Anfangsphase. Dann hat sich allerdings viel darauf eingestellt und wir können nicht einfach nur so Plong umstellen, weil das wäre ein Wechsel gewesen, dann also ein Spielerwechsel. Das war ein bisschen uncool. Aber der Beginn des Spiels den mochte ich sehr gerne und das war eigentlich der Plan damals, in Führung zu gehen und dann tatsächlich damit richtiger umzugehen, als wir es getan haben. Aber ja, ganz normal, ist nicht anders. Es ist schön, wenn man diese Alternativen hat, weil die Jungs einfach alle außergewöhnlich sind auf ihre Art. Und wir werden sehen, mit wem wir beginnen und mit wem wir es dann weitermachen und mit wem wir dann das Spiel beenden. Das ist ja beides gleich wichtig, oder alle 3 Sachen sind gleich wichtig. Und deshalb haben wir heute eine Einheit, wo ich mir das ein bisschen angucke. Und dann werden wir für morgen dann die Entscheidung getroffen haben schon, weil da bereiten wir uns dann richtig vor mit der einen Einheit, die wir richtig haben, um das taktisch so darzustellen, wie das aussehen soll.
Vielen Dank.
We'll bring an end to the open section of the press conference there.
Thank you so much for checking the videos. If you want more from us, then do consider joining Redmen Plus, which funds everything we do here for free on YouTube. But not just that, we're going to give you a whole bunch of incredible Liverpool content in podcast and in video form, extra Redmen TV shows and documentaries, features and interviews with Liverpool legends past and present. Get closer to the city, to the football club that we all love on redmenplus.com. Click the button, head over there now.